think the Mafia only operates in Italy and the U.S? Think again. It's undeniably true that the Mafia has a notorious reputation in Italy and the United States, but the reach of these organized crime syndicates extends far beyond the boundaries of these two nations. From the snow-capped peaks of Canada to the sandy shores of Australia, the Mafia's web of influence is global. In Canada, for instance, the 'Ndrangheta, a branch of the Italian Mafia, has been known to operate. They've infiltrated various sectors, from construction to politics, using their influence to shape decisions and control outcomes. In Australia, the Calabrian Mafia, known locally as 'Ndrangheta, has a long history and has been linked to political scandals, drug trafficking, and even sports betting. These groups are not just petty criminals. They are sophisticated organizations that employ corruption, coercion, and violence to extend their reach. They found ways to insinuate themselves into the very fabric of societies worldwide, influencing everything from local businesses to national politics. For instance, in Japan, the Yakuza, a group often compared to the Mafia, has significant influence on the entertainment industry and politics. In Russia, organized crime syndicates, often likened to the Mafia, have been known to infiltrate government and business sectors, and of course, there's the world of sports. From match-fixing scandals in soccer leagues across Europe to the infiltration of professional boxing in the United States, the Mafia's fingerprints can be found wherever there's money to be made and power to be gained. The Mafia's global reach is a testament to their adaptability and resilience. Despite countless efforts to dismantle these organizations, they continue to find ways to survive and thrive. They adapt to changing social and economic landscapes, exploiting loopholes and weaknesses in law enforcement and legislation. So, the next time you think of the Mafia, remember they are not just in your favorite gangster movies, they could be closer than you think. The Vatican and the Mafia, an unlikely pair, right? Well, not quite. Delve deeper into the annals of history and you'll find that these two entities have had their fair share of strange bedfellows. Allegations of their connections have been swirling for decades. It's a complex tale of intrigue and power where the holy and the criminal intersect. Let's start with the financial ties. Some theories suggest the Mafia has used the Vatican Bank to launder money. The Vatican, they say, turned a blind eye, benefiting from the influx of cash. Shared interests, too, have brought them together. The Mafia, ever mindful of its influence, has often sought legitimacy. Aligning itself with an institution as venerable as the Vatican would certainly help. So when you peel back the layers, the connection between the Vatican and the Mafia is not as far-fetched as it seems. The line between holy and unholy can sometimes blur in the most unexpected ways. What's the one rule that all Mafia members must follow, without question? If you're thinking loyalty, you're on the right track, but it's more specific than that. The answer is Omerta, the Mafia's code of silence, an unspoken agreement to keep the organization's secrets under wraps and out of the reach of law enforcement. This isn't just a suggestion or a guideline, it's a binding oath, a solemn vow that each member takes upon joining the Mafia. The consequences for breaking this code, let's just say they're quite severe. Omerta is the wall that shields the Mafia from the outside world, the fortress that protects its inner workings from prying eyes. It's a vow of silence that runs deeper than mere discretion. It's about survival, about protecting the family at all costs. In the world of the Mafia, silence isn't just golden, it's a matter of life and death. From The Godfather to The Sopranos, the Mafia has had a massive influence on pop culture. The mystique, the allure, the danger, these elements have been skillfully woven into countless movies, TV shows, and novels, creating a romanticized image of the Mafia that's hard to resist. Think about it, characters like Michael Corleone and Tony Soprano have become cultural icons, symbols of power and ambition, despite their dubious morals. These portrayals have shaped our perception of the Mafia, often blurring the line between fact and fiction. But it's not just about the power suits and the dramatic shootouts. These narratives have also given us a glimpse into the Mafia's intricate hierarchical structure, their codes of honor and their unwavering loyalty to the family. This blend of fact and fiction, of glamour and grit, has made the Mafia a fascinating subject in pop culture. The Mafia may be a criminal organization, but it's also a box office goldmine. The Mafia is not just about crime, it's also a major economic player. These clandestine organizations have a significant economic footprint, operating in the shadows of both the black market and legitimate businesses. Imagine an underground economy, where billions of dollars are exchanged every year. This is the realm of the Mafia, where illegal activities like drug trafficking, smuggling, and gambling generate enormous revenues. But it doesn't stop there. The Mafia's influence permeates legitimate industries too. From construction to waste management, from hospitality to entertainment, their tentacles extend into every corner of the economy. This economic muscle is then used to further the Mafia's interests, often through bribery, extortion, and sometimes even intimidation. The impact is far-reaching, affecting everything from market prices to job opportunities. So the next time you think about the Mafia, remember, they're not just crime lords, they're businessmen operating on a global scale. The Mafia's reach extends far beyond the underworld into the very heart of the global economy. Prohibition was a dark time in US history, but for the Mafia, it was a golden opportunity. It was the 1920s, and America was dry, legally speaking that is. Alcohol was banned, but the demand was high, and the Mafia saw this as a perfect chance to expand their operations. They began smuggling alcohol known as bootlegging from Canada and other countries, selling it to thirsty Americans at a significant profit. This illicit trade didn't just fill their coffers, it also increased their power and influence. The Mafia's operations weren't limited to smuggling. They also established secret bars called speakeasies, where people could enjoy a drink away from the prying eyes of the law. These establishments further solidified the Mafia's hold on the public, turning them into protectors of popular pastimes. Prohibition, intended to curb crime and immorality, ironically, ended up fueling the very entities it sought to suppress. Sometimes the law of the land can be the Mafia's best friend. When you think of politics, you probably don't think of the Mafia, but maybe you should. The Mafia's influence in politics is a tale as old as time. It's a shadowy dance of power, money, and influence that has shaped the political landscape in ways you might not expect. From the local to the national level, the Mafia has been alleged to have a hand in it all. The rumors speak of vote rigging, intimidation, and even assassination. Picture this: a politician with a perfect track record suddenly faces a scandal, or a surefire bill mysteriously fails, or an election result that bucks the trend. Could it be due to the invisible hand of the Mafia? Corruption, of course, is not exclusive to the Mafia, but their alleged involvement brings a unique twist to the story. It's a chilling reminder that in the game of politics there are players we don't see. In the world of politics, the Mafia is more than just a spectator. The Mafia isn't just about crime and power, it's also about tradition and ritual. Deep within this underworld, unusual rituals bind members together, creating a bond stronger than family ties. One of the most intriguing is the burning of saint images. During this ceremony, an image of a saint is set alight, symbolizing the members' pledge to the Mafia, and their willingness to burn in hell should they betray this oath. Equally as significant is the blood oath ceremony. In this ritual, a drop of the initiate's blood is spilled onto a religious image, usually a saint or the Virgin Mary. The image is then set on fire, while the new member swears allegiance to the Mafia, promising to uphold its code of silence and protect its secrets at all costs. These rituals, steeped in symbolism and tradition, serve as a chilling reminder of the Mafia's power and influence. In the Mafia, tradition isn't just respected, it's enforced. The Mafia and drugs, a deadly combination. Now, one might think of the Mafia as the primary peddlers of narcotics, but it's far more complex. The Mafia's involvement in the global drug trade is multifaceted, and their role often changes with the times. In the past, they were the dealers smuggling substances from one place to another. But as the world evolved, so did they. The Mafia saw an opportunity in the growing opioid crisis, profiting off the misery of others. They've been linked to the distribution of counterfeit medications and illicit opioids, contributing to an epidemic that's claimed countless lives. The impact of the Mafia's drug trade extends beyond the addiction crisis. It affects communities worldwide, causing violence, destabilizing economies, and corrupting political systems. The ripple effects are felt far and wide, leaving scars that are hard to heal. When it comes to the war on drugs, the Mafia is often on the front lines. Think secret societies are just the stuff of conspiracy theories? The Mafia begs to differ. You see, within the labyrinthine structure of the Mafia, there exist secretive factions operating under the radar, even by Mafia standards. These secret societies, with their clandestine operations, play a crucial role in the Mafia's grand scheme. Each of these secret societies has a unique purpose. Some are formed to control specific territories or businesses, while others exist to enforce the Mafia's code of silence, or omerta. Their influence seeps into every layer of the Mafia, subtly shaping the organization's decisions and actions. Rituals, too, are a significant part of these societies. They serve as binding ceremonies, strengthening the ties of loyalty and trust among members. These rituals can range from symbolic gestures to elaborate rites, each steeped in tradition and secrecy. In the world of the Mafia, secrets can be deadly, but they can also be a source of power.